going to make what we call a Canadian roll. For this one, we're going to need a few ingredients. We're going to need some smoked salmon for the inside, with about 1/4 of an avocado and some cream cheese. For the top, we're also going to need a few jalapenos, thinly sliced, and a little bit of our hot sauce. So now it's time to start rolling our roll. First, we're going to go ahead and get our hands a little bit wet so that the sushi rice doesn't stick too much. Then we're going to come over and we're going to get about 150 grams of rice. We're then going to very lightly press into a small ball of about this size. Then we're going to come over and we're going to place it across the top. We really want to make sure that we pay attention to our edges and that they have a nice even amount of rice. Once we are here, we're not going to put anything on top of the rice, no sesame seeds or anything. We're then just going to go ahead and flip it over so that we now have the nori facing us. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our cream cheese. We're then going to go ahead and spread out, not too much, but a decent amount of cream cheese all the way across the roll. I want to make sure that it's nice and even. Once we do this, we can then go ahead and take our smoked salmon and place it next to our cream cheese. After this, we'll then take our avocado and then evenly spread that across the roll. After doing this, it's time for us to go ahead and start rolling it up. We're going to start by taking the side that's closest to us and then pulling it up and rolling it over all of the ingredients and tucking it in next to them nice and tight. Then, at this point, we're going to go ahead and pull up the little flap that's left, and that's going to finish sealing our roll. Then we will roll it over so that that's now the bottom side. Then we're going to make sure that we push any ingredients that are sticking out of the ends back into the roll. We really want to make sure that these edges are nice and well taken care of for this one, because we're going to go ahead and put it into the deep fryer. So next thing that we're going to do, get our hands just a little bit wet, we're going to come and take a little extra rice. We're then going to take that rice and we're going to stick it on the end of the roll here. We'll do the same thing to the other side. Then, if you see any parts of the nori sticking through, we're just going to go ahead and make sure that we cover that up with the rice. Now that we're at this point, we're going to take our makisu with plastic over it. We're then going to lay the flat side over the top of the roll. Now it's time for us to start pressing it. We're going to start by taking and pushing down. Then we're going to push inwards, applying a medium, even pressure across the whole roll. Once we apply a nice medium, even pressure across the whole thing for just a moment, we're going to pull it up. We can see that these ends here are still a little sad looking, and they're not really attached. What we need to do is we're going to come and bring our makisu to the very edge of our roll with just a little bit of space left open with the rice sticking out. Then we're going to take and we're going to go ahead and give a nice little push on the rice to make sure that it seals up that end piece there. Like so. This is very important so that when we put it into the batter, that the batter and hot oil that we're frying it in does not go inside of the roll. When we serve it, we're going to cut these ends off, and then we're going to toss. So here we have our roll nice and pressed. It's time for us to now go ahead and take and make our tempura batter, and then we're going to fry it. So now it is time for us to start frying our roll. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our roll and we're going to just set it into our tempura batter here. And then we're going to cover very quickly with our tempura batter. Then we're just going to go ahead and lay it into the fryer like so. We're going to let it cook in here for a minute or so until it becomes nice and golden and crispy. we recommend grabbing a paper towel and setting it on the side. We're going to be using that in just a moment. Right now I'm going to go ahead and just remove the tempura crunch here. We don't need any of this. And our roll is very close to being done. It's almost there. It's getting a nice golden color. Now, it is time for us to go ahead and cut this roll and finish plating it. We're going to take our knife, and the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to cut off just the very ends of the roll where we put the rice. Both sides, we don't need these anymore. We're not going to serve these to the customer, so we can just go ahead and set them to the side or throw them away. Now, even though this doesn't have fish on top, because we fried it, we're going to cut it into 8 pieces. So we're going to start by finding the halfway point and cutting it in half. Then we're going to take one of our halves, cut that in half, and take the remaining pieces and cut those in half. Now we'll do the same thing to the other side. Half, half, half. Now that we have 8 evenly sized pieces, it's time for us to go ahead and take our plate and start plating this roll. Then we're going to take this piece on the left-hand side, we're going to spin it around, and then move it one piece in. We're doing this so that we get the most beautiful cuts facing the customer. Then we're going to take the roll and make it so that they go halfway across each other at an angle. And then we're going to place them right in the middle of the plate, going directly across. We're then going to take the next 3 pieces and do the same thing. Now we have our final 2 pieces. Our end piece we're going to take, and we're going to place it as the second to last piece. And then we're going to take the other piece and place it as the very last one now. We do this so that our end pieces end up looking the most beautiful when facing the customer. Now that we're here, we're going to take our 8 slices of jalapeno, and we're going to place one on every single piece. After this, we're going to go ahead and just finish our dish by placing a dot of hot sauce on every single jalapeno.